Incoming transmission. Radio Rebellion.
After months of speculations, Project Luminous was finally revealed, hundreds of years before the events of the Skywalker saga, at the height of the Galactic Republic, a golden age where there was more peace and calm in the galaxy. That is, before the Great Disaster, there was the High Republic. The Jedi of this era resembled the Knights of the Round Table from Arthurian legend. The Jedi that patrol the borders of known space are like Texas Rangers. There will be a group core of heroes that expands over time. So what scares the Jedi? The threat comes from the Republic's borders, with the main threat arising from a new group of villains known as the Nile, characterized as space Vikings. Their way of life is described as, "We can't take it with you, but we can take it from you." This period will not overlap with any of the currently planned for production feature films or series. It will be vast interconnected stories across multiple years. There will also be stories featuring new bounty hunters, new smugglers, and new scoundrels. Stories for adults, teens, and kids. Stories for every Star Wars fan. There was a writer's room with different opinions of what Star Wars meant to them, a blank slate, and what stories they want to tell. Phase 1. Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. 200 years before the events of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, in the era of the glorious High Republic, the noble and wise Jedi Knights must face a frightening threat to themselves, the galaxy, and the Force itself. The Great Disaster happens early on in this book. Characters we know: Avar Kriss, a Jedi that hears the Force through song; Wookiee Burryaga Agaburi, a very sensitive Jedi. A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland. When a transport ship is abruptly kicked out of hyperspace as part of a galaxy-wide disaster, newly minted teen Jedi Vernestra Rwoh, a young Padawan, an audacious tech kid, and the son of an ambassador are stranded on a jungle moon where they must work together to survive both the dangerous terrain and a hidden danger lurking in the shadows. Vernestra Rwoh is 16 years old. Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. Padawan Reeve Silas is being sent from the cosmopolitan galactic capital of Coruscant to the undeveloped frontier, and he couldn't be less happy about it. He'd rather stay at the Jedi Temple, studying the archives. But when the ship he's traveling on is knocked out of hyperspace in a galactic-wide disaster, Reeve finds himself at the center of the action. The Jedi and their traveling companions find refuge on what appears to be an abandoned space station. But then strange things start happening, leading the Jedi to investigate the truth behind the mysterious station, a truth that could end in tragedy. Star Wars The High Republic, titular comic book by Cavan Scott, will mostly take place on a space station called Starlight Beacon, which is something of a symbol of hope in the era. The High Republic Adventures by Daniel Jose Older,